Blue, green, brown, gray, we call them colors, but they're really codes. Every shade of eye tells a story written by light, genetics, and survival. And buried inside that color is a hidden advantage, a piece of evolution as design you probably never noticed. Today, we're decoding every eye color, what it means, where it came from, and what silent advantages it gives you. Forget myths about pretty eyes. This is biology, optics, and human history combined. So how do your eyes get their color? It's not like paint. What you re-seeing is actually light scattering through microscopic layers in your iris. That's the colored ring that controls how much light enters your pupil. Two types of melanin decide everything: eumelanin, which is a dark brown to black pigment, and pheomelanin, which provides yellow to reddish tones. How those pigments mix, and how the iris scatters light, creates every known human eye color. That's right, no blue, green, or gray pigment actually exists in your eyes. Those colors are illusions made by light physics. This means the color of your eyes is a fingerprint of how your ancestors' bodies managed sunlight. Let's start with the original design: brown eyes. About 70% of the world's population has brown eyes, making it the most common color. But it's not common, it's the master template. Brown irises are packed with eumelanin, which acts as a powerful, natural UV filter. This gives brown-eyed people two hidden advantages. First, they have a kind of natural sunblock, leading to an up to 50% lower risk of macular damage in high UV environments. Second, they often have faster light adjustment. Their pupils can constrict and expand more efficiently under sudden brightness changes, which means quicker visual recovery when you step outside. That's why brown eyes dominate in equatorial regions like Africa, South Asia, and Central America, where intense sunlight can literally damage vision. They're nature's original solution for seeing clearly under the world's brightest skies. Now for blue eyes, which are basically a trick of physics. Blue eyes contain almost no pigment at all. Instead, when light enters the stroma, the iris's top layer, it scatters short blue wavelengths back out, while other colors are absorbed. It's the same principle that makes the sky look blue, a phenomenon called Rayleigh scattering. This gives blue-eyed individuals two unique advantages. The first is enhanced low-light sensitivity. With less pigment blocking the way, blue eyes let in slightly more photons, improving vision at dusk or in fog. This was a crucial adaptation for early humans in northern climates with weaker sunlight. The second advantage is better contrast detection. People with blue eyes often show stronger sensitivity to subtle color shifts against gray light, which would have made it easier to spot prey or navigate snowy terrain where everything looks white. What about green eyes? They are the rarest of all, found in only about 2% of people. Genetically, they are a fascinating blend of brown and blue, containing moderate pigment plus a touch of that yellow-red pheomelanin, which changes how light scatters. This creates a unique optical balance. Their first hidden advantage is what we can call adaptive optics. Green eyes can adjust to changing light conditions smoothly, handling both bright sunlight and dim interiors better than most other shades. The second advantage is a curious link to our immune system. Some studies suggest the genes associated with green eyes also play a role in regulating inflammation responses. This is because melanin genes can crosstalk with immune proteins. So your eye color might literally reflect how your body handles stress and infection. Then we have gray eyes. They might look like a desaturated blue, but they scatter light in a completely different way. Instead of just bouncing blue wavelengths back, gray irises diffuse all wavelengths of light evenly. This is what creates that striking metallic storm sky appearance. Their first hidden advantage is glare resistance. Gray eyes are fantastic at handling direct reflections, making them highly efficient in snowy or watery environments where bright light comes from every direction. Their second advantage is a kind of camouflage vision. Because they scatter a broad spectrum of light, it enhances their ability to detect edges and outlines in low-contrast scenes. Think fog, twilight, or a snowstorm, the very conditions common in northern Europe and Siberia, where gray eyes are most prevalent. So while they may look cold, gray eyes are nature's built-in anti-glare glasses. Next up are the chameleons of the eye world. Hazel eyes aren't just one color. They're shapeshifters, appearing to switch between brown, green, and gold, depending on the lighting. This happens because of an uneven distribution of pigment across the iris, often with darker tones near the pupil and lighter ones at the rim. This gives them a distinct advantage in light adaptation. Hazel irises can automatically adjust how much light they reflect and absorb, acting like a pair of built-in, variable sunglasses. They also may have an edge in depth perception. The contrast between the dark center and the lighter edge can enhance how the brain perceives three-dimensional space, especially at mid-distances. Evolutionarily, hazel eyes might represent a transitional trait, a visual system perfectly optimized for mixed environments of forest and open fields. And what about amber eyes? These are among the rarest and most striking. They get their golden glow from a yellow pigment called lipofuscin, which is great at reflecting warm light. In the animal kingdom, it's the same compound that gives wolves and eagles their intense golden stare. For humans, this leads to a couple of advantages. First, superior night adaptation. The amber pigment reflects low light very efficiently, helping the retina gather more detail in twilight. Second, some research suggests people with amber-tinted irises score slightly higher on peripheral motion awareness. This might be due to the contrast differences between warm and cool wavelengths reaching the retina. So those gold eyes aren't just mythical, they re-evolution's way of keeping us alert as the daylight fades. Believe it or not, every single eye color on Earth originates from just two genes, sitting side by side on chromosome 15. They control how much melanin builds up in your iris. About 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, a single mutation occurred in this gene cluster, reducing melanin production. That one change gave rise to the very first blue eyes. And incredibly, every person with blue eyes today shares that same ancient ancestor. It wasn't the creation of a new color, but a loss of pigment that turned into an optical illusion. So when you look into a pair of blue eyes, you re-seeing a genetic echo, a shared origin that connects millions of people through one flicker of light. Eye color doesn't just affect how you see light. It affects how light interacts with your body. Brown eyes absorb more photons, converting light energy into warmth and providing protection. Lighter eyes, on the other hand, scatter those photons back out, which increases sensitivity but also makes them more susceptible to glare. That's why in bright, sunny climates, dark eyes tend to stay more comfortable, while in dim, overcast places, light eyes can pick up details faster. It's not just about aesthetics, it's physics. Your iris is a personal light filter perfectly engineered for the latitude your ancestors called home. There's a psychological side to this as well. Researchers have found subtle behavioral patterns linked to eye color, not personality stereotypes, but how we subconsciously read and respond to faces. For instance, pupil dilation is much more obvious in light-colored eyes. As a result, across many cultures, people may perceive them as more expressive or even more vulnerable. Dark eyes, in contrast, tend to hide these pupil changes, which can signal a sense of calmness, mystery, or strength. Neither is better than the other. They are simply two different styles of communication coded by our biology. Cultures throughout history have built myths around eye color because eyes literally reflect the world. Ancient Egyptian art depicted brown eyes as sacred sons. Nordic folklore turned blue eyes into symbols of magic and purity. In Asia, dark eyes often represented wisdom and constancy, while in Europe, lighter eyes became signs of distance and deep thought. These aren't just random stories. They're how people interpreted their environment through culture. Where sunlight was scarce, pale eyes became spiritual. Where light was abundant, dark eyes became divine. In our modern world, migration has mixed every shade of eye color across the planet. But those ancient advantages are still quietly at work. Your eye color continues to shape how you react to brightness, how well you see contrast, and even how tired your eyes feel after a long day of staring at a screen. Scientists are now exploring personalized ophthalmology, developing eye drops, lenses, and even lighting designed for specific levels of pigmentation. Soon, your eye color won't just be an aesthetic detail. It will be key data that guides how technology interacts with your vision. The spectrum of eye color goes even further. Some people have heterochromia, where each eye is a different color. In rare cases, this can actually help balance light intake, like having two different filters instead of one. Others have central heterochromia, with rings of different colors around the pupil, which can improve focus adjustment by giving the iris varied pigment densities. Even these anomalies often have a purpose. And what about the truly rare colors? Violet eyes can occur when blue eyes meet red reflections from blood vessels, scattering light so strongly that they flash purple. Black eyes are actually an ultra-dark brown, with so much pigment they absorb almost all light, offering the best possible protection against glare. Each variation isn't just a random mutation, it's evolution testing out every optical possibility. So look in the mirror. That intricate pattern inside your iris, the tiny waves, flecks, and rings, is a map of evolution, carved in light. No other person on Earth has the exact same one. Your eyes are like fingerprints made of photons. Brown, blue, green, gray, amber, none of them are random. They tell the history of sunlight, written right inside you. When someone looks into your eyes, they're not just seeing a color. They're seeing how your ancestors survived, how light shaped your vision, and how every single shade became part of the same human story. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world around us. I'll see you in the next video.